Good day and welcome to Bamboo TV Radio. I am Sir Rex Olinares Pagirigan of San Antonio National High School. Today, our topic is all about site selection and soil analysis of agricultural crop production, TLE. At the end of this lesson, you are therefore expected to identify the factors to consider in site selection, select the site appropriate for crop production, collect soil sample and analyze, appreciate the value of selecting a good site for crop production. Before we begin, let's take a pause and let's travel around the best farm in the Philippines. I have a list here, so be ready and let us travel virtually. Isabela, the biggest province in Cauayan Valley region, is now one of the premier provinces of the north. It has been dubbed as the rice granary of the north. Agriculture is the major industry of the people of Isabela. Farming is highly mechanized as most of the agricultural lands are irrigated. Nueva Ecija is a landlocked province of the Philippines located in the central Luzon region. Agriculture is the primary industry in the province, of which it became the food bowl and rice granary of central Luzon. The primary agricultural products are rice, onion, garlic, corn, melon, and mango. Its agricultural production of fertile lands that are nourished by the great Pampanga rivers and its auxiliaries.
Eastern Visayas directly faces the Pacific Ocean, which relatively has subsequential effect to its unique climatic condition. It receives heavy rainfall throughout the year and is sometimes visited by typhoons. It has a pronounced dry season, which was found to have substantial bearing on palay production. The region's palay production is relatively higher during January to June, which contributes 54% to total palay output, while the remaining 46% is produced during July-December period. Did rice provide for subsistence? Apart from being a source of stable food, many families depend on rice cultivation for income. By means of applying proper rice production technologies, farmers can earn an average net income of as much as 21 to 41,000 pesos depending on the quality of seeds planted, cost of the materials, fertilizer, and other production inputs and insurance fee. This comes aside from the employment opportunities generated in rice farming operations. Beyond providing for subsistence, rice plays an important cultural role in the region. Growing, selling, and eating rice is on hindsight integral to the region's culture. In many areas of the region, culture has developed around the growing of rice and foods made from rice, which somehow became the basis for the emergence of popular festivals such as Pintados Festival in Leyte, Sangyao in Tacloban City, Padulong in Borongan, Eastern Samar, and such other folk celebrations featuring various expressions of gratitude to God for bountiful harvest. The province of Oriental Mindoro, one of the 5 provinces that make up the Mimaropa region, is being eyed as the country's foremost food supplier. Secretary Pino told local residents that the current administration of President Rodrigo Duterte is focused on expanding the province's role in food supply. 70% of the province population is engaged in agriculture and it is able to produce large quantities of rice, corn, coconut, vegetables, and fruits. Oriental Mindoro is also known as the rice granary and the fruit basket of the southern Tagalog region. Mindoro will be one of the food production areas for the Department of Agriculture because we want our food to be a source locally and that we will be able to fulfill the commitment of the President to make available and affordable food for the people. Secretary Piñol cited the five-pronged agricultural support program that is being implemented in the region to boost harvest. This includes free water irrigation, courtesy of the National Irrigation Administration, modernization of farming equipment such as dryer and harvester, lowering the prices of fertilizers, use of hybrid seeds, and make loans available to farmers.
The Banawe Rice Terraces, or in Filipino, Hagdan-hagdang palayan ng Banawe, are terraces that were carved into the mountains of Banawe, Ifugao in the Philippines by the ancestors of the indigenous people. The terraces are occasionally called the Eight Wonders of the World. The Ifugao people practice traditional farming, spending most of their labor at their terraces and forest land, were occasionally tending to root crops cultivation. What are the things to consider in site selection for farming? You are correct when you say, in the site selection for farming purposes, you may consider the natural population of certain organisms like bees and other pollinators, fewer pests and disease-causing organisms. Where the farming venture involves tree crops, farmlands in the forest areas are better. An established best practice in seedling production is necessary in order to achieve uniform and healthy seedlings. The following are the different factors to be considered in the proper site for crop production. The first one is a clean water source. Examples are deep well, tube well, and spring. On the other hand, rivers, canals, creeks, and sewage are not good source. Second, location. The farm should be near the road to facilitate ease to transport. There should be available laborers in the different stages of crop production, good irrigation and drainage, and proximity to drying pavement and other post-harvest facilities. Farm location greatly affects the probability of crop. Third, disease-free. No history of diseases based on the previous crops planted. And the last one, climate. Climate change is one of the factors posing challenge to rice production nowadays. The following are some climatic factors. Rainfall. In rain-fed areas, the start of the rainy season determines the planting time. This is because the source of water supply for non-irrigated rice fields comes directly from rainfall. On the other hand, too much rainfall causes floods that submerge the plants. Water directly affects the photosynthesis activity of the rice plant. Sunlight. It is the foremost source of energy of all plant life. When water supply is not limited, sunshine is the most important climatic factor that influences rice yield. Therefore, site should be free of any barrier to sunlight. Temperature. It is a limiting factor in crop production. However, in the Philippines, temperature is almost constant. Hence, it is not a critical problem. Wind velocity. Gentle wind is beneficial to plants because new air blown around the plant causes replenishment of carbon dioxide. Strong winds such as heavy wind during typhoon may cause lodging and scattering of rice grain, reduction of photosynthesis activities, and may enhance growth of bacterial leaf diseases. Soil analysis. Success of rice production starts with knowing the kind of soil where you are going to plant. The rice plant is nutrient sensitive. Its ability to produce good harvest depends on the nutrients present in the soil. The result of the soil analysis will be the basis of fertilizer application.
What is a soil?
Soil is a loose friable material at the surface of the earth needed for the development of crop production.
What are the types of soil? Type of soil. Clay soil. Clay soil is mainly composed of the smallest particles of soil, which are densely packed with very little or no airspace, and they effectively retain water. This soil is not suitable for growing plants as it is harder for moisture and air to penetrate into the soil. Sandy soil. Sandy soil is formed by the smallest or fine particles of weathering rocks. This soil is known as the poorest type of soil for agriculture and growing plants as they have very low nutritional value and poor water holding capacity. Loam soil. Loam soil is the mixture of clay, sand, and silt soil which consists of additional organic matter and is very fertile compared to other types of soil. It is very suited for cultivation as the plant roots get a sufficient amount of water and nutrients for their growth and development. Silt soil. Silt is granular material of the size between sand and clay, whose mineral origin is quartz and feldspar. Silt may occur as a soil or as sediment mix in the suspension of it water and soil in a body of water such as a river. It may also exist as soil deposited at the bottom of a water body like mud flows from landslides.
Soil texture, the relative portion of sand, silt, and clay. Soil texture is a more or less permanent property of soil. Soil texture equals the percent of sand, percent of silt, and percent of clay in a soil. Steps in soil sampling. 1. Make a sketch of the areas showing sampling areas, or SA. Divide the farm into sampling areas. Each SA should be more or less uniform in cropping history, pass line, and fertilizer treatments, slope, degree of erosion, and soil texture and color. Step 2. In each SA, dig from 5 to 10 pits and collect sample corresponding to the size of the sampling area. The spot sample is taken in the following manner. A. Clear the soil surface area. B. Using a shovel or spade, dig a pit to a depth of 20 to 30 centimeters. C. From one vertical size of the pit, take a slice of soil 2 to 3 centimeter thick with a single downward thrust of the spade. Using a knife or trowel, trim the slice of soil on both sides of a bar of 2 to 3 centimeter width. Letter D. Place the thin bar of the soil in a pail or any suitable clean container. Letter E. If the subsoil sample is needed, take a bar of soil from the succeeding 20 to 30 centimeters soil deep. The subsoil and the surface soil should be placed in separate containers. Take composite soil samples. After collecting the samples from the different sampling areas, they will be pulverized and mixed thoroughly in the container. Place the composite soil sample about 1/2 kilogram in a clean plastic bag. After which, it is now ready for chemical analysis using the simple soil testing kit or STK for qualitative analysis of soil pH, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, or by running a complete chemical analysis in the soil laboratory. Results of the both tests will serve as the basis for the farmers in making recommendations on the amount of fertilizer materials to be applied to satisfy the nutrients requirements of the crop. Step 3. Labeling. Place the name of the following informations of composite soil sample: the farmer's name, the area, and the crops to be planted.
For your assessment, choose the letter of the best answer. Write the chosen letter on a separate sheet of paper. 1. It is a loose, friable material at the surface of the earth needed for the development of a crop production. A. Soil texture. B. Soil. C. Compost. And D. Tray. 2. Water supply is an important factor in crop production because it directly affects the A. Frequency of planting. B. Photosynthesis activity of the plants. C. Physical characteristics of the plants. And D. Population of common pests and diseases. 3. It is the foremost source of energy of all plant life. When water supply is not limited, sunshine is the most important climatic factor that influences rice yield. Therefore, site should be free of any barrier to sunlight. A. Rainfall. B. Temperature. C. Climate. And D. Sunlight. 4. The relative proportion of sand, silt, and clay. A. Soil texture. B. Soil. C. Compost. And D. Tray. 5. There are 3 important factors that affect rice yield. Which of the following is not among the factors? A. Climate. B. Kind of soil. C. Location. And D. Topography. 6. An ideal field crop production possesses all the following attributes except A. Good drainage. B. High clay content. C. High organic matter. D. pH range of 6.2 to 7.0. 7. Farmer's name, area, and crop to be planted. These are informations that can be found in a plastic bag with the soil collected in the field. A. Leveling. B. Labeling. C. Tagging. And D. Planting. 8. The following are some factors to consider in selecting farm location except A. The farm should be near the road to facilitate ease to transport. B. There should be no available laborers in the different stages of crop production. C. Good irrigation and drainage. D. Proximity to drying pavement and other post-harvest facilities. Nine. A composite soil that represents the whole area of your field for crop production. A. Soil. B. Soil sample. C. Soil media. And D. None of the choices. Then, rainfall, sunlight, and temperature are referred to as A. Climate. B. Season. C. Weather. And D. All of the above. Time is up. These are the answers. 1. B. 2. B. 3. D. 4. A. 5. D. 6. D. 7. B. 8. B. 9. B. And 10. A. Here is the rubrics. If you got 10 points, you are excellent. 8 to 9 points, you are great. 6 to 7 points, very good. 5 points, good. 4 points below, study well. For your activity, visit a nearby rice farm. Inspect the area based on what you have learned in selecting the site for producing rice crops. Put a check mark on the space provided if the factors to be considered in the site selection are met. Activity 2. Video presentation. Each student will proceed to a near farm location and video your performance in getting a soil sample, strictly following the procedures. You will be graded with this rubric based from the submitted video. Grade and the indicator. 96 to 100% shows excellent execution of procedures in soil sampling based from the video. 91 to 95% shows good execution of procedures in soil sampling based from the video. 86 to 90% submitted but late with teacher's supervision. 81 to 85% activity was done but does not show eagerness in the execution of procedure in soil sampling based from the video. 75 to 80% no interest in submitting video presentation.
It's your turn. Try it at your respective homes. I hope you enjoy our session for today. I'm Mr. Rex Olinares Pagaligan. Keep safe and good day.
SDO Cauayan City. Naglilingkod para sa kabataang Pilipino.